Vox here, and I've had a pretty negative experience with Black Ops 4 lately. In fact, I feel like the latest Double XP weekend was pretty much ruined for me, which is really disappointing, as I had no idea it was coming. I don't really keep up with the updates to the game or what's said about it, but I was very surprised when it showed up, and I had such a good time during the first Double XP weekend, and I had really felt like my progress in unlocking things had kind of slowed down as someone who's a little impatient, admittedly. And for context, I have put I have put over 50 hours, I think, at this point into Black Ops 4, and I've had a very good time with it on the whole. I've thoroughly enjoyed, the first half of my time with it, but as I've put more hours into it, which is inevitable with first-person shooters, I leave the kind of honeymoon period, and I've started noticing more and more of the problems. But specifically with the Double XP weekend, there's a big issue of people leaving matches and the game forcing you to join in progress, which is incredibly frustrating. Now, there's a lovely catch-22 here. It keeps putting me in these matches, which I will describe in a minute because they're horrible, but it also punishes you for leaving because you lose any and all experience, progress towards skin, progress towards weapon levels. You lose everything if you leave a match. Or, if the game keeps freezing and throwing error codes every time you hit a kill cam, which keeps happening to me after I unlock skins, and then I go back to the game, or if I level up weapons, and then I go back to the game, and all of that progress is gone. So specifically with the Double XP weekend, I wanted to keep playing the Chaos Mosh Pit playlist, which is a kind of sped up version of objective control modes that are designed to be super fast paced, chaotic, and get you a lot of XP really quickly, which seemed like the perfect combination for Double XP. And in all likelihood, it should have been, because prior to the Double XP weekend, prior to this latest patch, which has caused a lot of issues, I was kind of enjoying the playlist, being something that I played about half the time, and then I'd take a break and go play other stuff. The issue is literally every time I queued up into a match, and I guess there's a priority placed on filling matches versus just joining new lobbies. Every time I tried to join in on a match, it would join me in progress in a match that's about halfway over or a little more than halfway, like 75% of the way over. The team I'm put on has like 10 points in hardpoint. The team I'm against has like 200, and there's a gunship, there's attack choppers, there's a mantis, there's all sorts of kill streaks, and everyone has their ults out, shooting war machines everywhere, and it's just a cycle of spawn, die, spawn, maybe try to take out a rocket launcher and shoot down at a chopper, die, and there's quite literally no point to playing because I can't leave my spawn, I can't kill anyone, I can't enjoy what's happening. It is one of the most frustrating experiences, and this kind of experience with a game is how you take someone who has actually enjoyed the game and has put about 50 or so hours into it and make them just uninstall it and never want to come back. Granted, the uninstall action would be out of just kind of rage quitting, but why would I go back to that kind of experience? Why would I buy your DLC? Why would I buy your season pass if that's what I have to look forward to? And that's very disappointing given how great of an experience the game offered me otherwise. The issue here is, again, that new punishment system for leaving matches. Back in my day, if you left a Call of Duty match, you lost your match bonus, and that was it. And I understand that, specifically in these kinds of situations, you need to more harshly punish leavers. That is something that I see brought up in virtually every game community and first-person shooter situation. Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever, is people demanding that leavers be punished more, and I get that. But as someone who is playing, if I do happen to get involved in a match like this and actually get some progress towards my kills, because again, it's double XP, that goes very quickly. If I actually manage to kill a couple people and, want to try to bring this back, if it degrades to just being kill streaks everywhere and just me being unable to spawn, I can't leave. I'll lose all that progress if I leave. It will be more of a waste of time than just sitting there AFK waiting to get my extra bonus XP. It would be more of a waste of time than just sitting there doing nothing, which is just freaking stupid. It's beyond frustrating, and I don't like the idea of dumbing down a game to make it more noob friendly or whatever, but at the same time, the kill streaks are pretty ridiculous right now. The ults are but the kill streaks are ridiculous. There's a lot of broken tactics in the game, but I mean, I understand that kill streaks are a little harder to earn now. I've had pretty much everyone I've played with mention that, like, wow, it's so much harder to earn kill streaks. It's even just like 50 points a little further than you would expect, and it's that much harder to get a kill streak and not just die before you get your EAV. But the thing is they stack towards each other since it's score streaks. And so if your team is dominating objectives and you're able to get like a Hellstrike missile or Hellfire missile or whatever, wipe out an entire team capping a point, then you have your chopper. Then the chopper gives you your gunship, and then it's pretty much game over. The gunship, the AC-130, is just completely overpowered. By the way, the kill cam for that needs to be fixed. It is so goddamn loud compared to the rest of the freaking game. There have been multiple points where I get killed by a gunship, don't skip the kill cam in time, and there is such loud beeping and just like screeching in my ears that I think there is a fire alarm or some other computer alarm going off in my apartment, and I like run into the other room, and my wife is like, "What did you hear?" and clearly didn't hear what I heard. And other times I just have to throw my headset off. Like, it is so freaking loud. That needs to be toned the hell down. But the gunship and those kind of kill streaks just basically like ruin the match. It is like getting a nuke really, really quickly. It doesn't end the match, but it might as well. In a casual, like, evenly matched game, it's not a problem. I can usually take them down with a couple rockets. I lose whatever benefit I'm giving my team towards the objective because I'm just sitting there dying to the gunship as I take it out. But generally speaking, it's okay. But if you get in matches like these and you're just shoved into them where it's already going, you have no chance. And on the flip side, with this leaving punishment issue, if I'm in the match and I was doing well and then my entire team leaves and thus it is just me and a couple people and a bunch of people who keep joining and leaving versus this team that is destroying everyone, I again have no chance. And if I leave, I am punished for it. In a match where it was completely out of my control that it is now pointless to play, I just have to stick with it. And having to stick with a match that isn't fun, having to play a game that isn't fun is the quickest way to burn players. That's a universal rule with games. Sticking with mechanics that aren't enjoyable is how you stop having fun with it. And this is on top of all of the other issues with the game itself. The server matchmaking issues that kept kicking me out of matches every time we would start one and prevented my party members from joining each other. It seems the latest patch on PC has resolved some of this, but as a consequence, I get those hardlock issues I mentioned, where randomly the game will just lock up at a kill cam and I won't be able to spawn, and I'll get the little error code that pops up, or it'll just crash to desktop with the error code, or it'll just still kick me out of the match sometimes, and it takes forever to connect back to the game initially, which means that you can't join back in that match with your team because it will have already filled by then. The other server issues that exist, like this is on top of the complete lack of polish this game has had for a full AAA game with literally the biggest budget in the world. And I realize, well, not in the world, but of most video games. And I realize that the PC client is developed by a side team, but we were assured that that team was a really, really good PC development team. There's just been a lot of issues there. So combine that with the fact that this kept happening with every match I joined. Oh, by the way, so here's the thing. If you do stick with these matches that I'm describing, which are just like brutal and unenjoyable, then when the match ends and you go back to the matchmaking lobby, it's pretty much guaranteed that that entire team is going to stick together because they're having fun. They were winning. They want to continue that. And the next match, you're put back up against that team. And your morale is killed as a result of the previous match, on top of the fact that the same thing's going to happen again. I just had hours of this happening where I just had to go back to vanilla team deathmatch, which is an option to me, but isn't as enjoyable of an experience and isn't a good way to level up my guns. Because again, this is double XP weekend. I'm here to level up my guns, to level up my prestige. I'm not here to try hard my pants off, put in a ranked playlist. And most of these people wouldn't join the ranked playlist anyway because they're here pub stomping and just having fun. And it's not even like these people were all that good in the first place. They just got a good, rhythm going with kill streaks, which made the game basically unplayable for the other team. Again, I've put like 50 hours in 1 month into this game, which is unheard of for me. I have thoroughly enjoyed a lot of Black Ops 4. And in fact, I had an original at-launch commentary planned for Feels 2010 Man, because playing on Summit and Jungle and Firing Range was just such an amazing experience and brought back some really good feelings about the original Black Ops. And there's now Nuketown over on PS4, and that's kind of cool, although it's very weird at this point. But I got really burned at this Double XP weekend, and I'm really disappointed with how this game has not fixed its issues very quickly at all. And yet they certainly still want you to buy their DLC and their COD points.